The nightcap from Brownsburg High School and the Santa for Sneakers Shootout. North Central and South Bend, Washington, a pair of Panthers as South Bend, Washington comes into tonight 7-0. North Central at 5-2. Both teams ranked in the top 10 in the state of Indiana. Thad Van Deventer and Coach Schott here with you for game number 7 today, and we should have a pretty good one here tonight.
Really excited for this matchup. We've had 2 great games so far in our call, and now we get the nightcap is going to be outstanding.
We'll run through our starters when we get a moment, but South Bend, Washington in their home white and green uniforms, they have the basketball to start us out. With the ball, that's Amaya Reynolds, number 1, and we'll be using a lot of first names tonight as there are 3 Reynolds sisters, and that's a 3 from the top of the key for Mila Reynolds. And then, of course, their dad, Steve Reynolds, the head coach for the Panthers. So a lot of Reynolds running around tonight at Brownsburg High.
Tough to defend that. She's 6'3", so you'd expect her to be in the post, and then she steps out and hits a 3.
There's a steal, and quickly up, that's the pass up to Rashunda Jones, who's fouled, number 2. And as she gets set to go to the free throw line, let's get to our starters. First for South Bend, Washington, number 1, Amaya Reynolds. Number 2, Rashunda Jones, who's at the free throw line. Kira Reynolds, number 11. Shamara Allen, number 14. And Mila Reynolds, who connected on the 3 early on, and number 15. As Jones goes 2 for 2 from the stripe. We'll get the North Central starters here in just a moment. And there's another steal on a breakaway, and it's Jones all by herself, and she lays it up and in. And quickly, it's 7-0.
Well, one thing that South Bend, Washington will do, they'll put that pressure on you very quick, play hard-nosed defense, and you can see the trap coming from behind, just trying to really speed up North Central and make it chaos.
That's Tanwell Welch, who had it number 2.
North Central having trouble even getting into any kind of offense right now.
Skip pass out to the top of the key, and then a dribble drive, and a foul is going to be called. That was Trinity Archie on the drive, number 24.
They got Kira Reynolds on that foul, and maybe she had her hand down on the waist. You know, probably clean up top. The interesting thing about Kira is that she averages 5.7 blocks a game.
That first free throw is good for Archie. Quickly, the starters for North Central: Tanwell Welch, number 2, Destiny Hooks, number 3, number 10, Mackenzie Carroll, number 20, Samara Douglas, and Archie, who is at the stripe, who connects on both. And a 3 out of the corner for Mila Reynolds. That's no good.
North Central quickly in transition. Looked like Destiny Hooks was going to try to get a quick 3, but defense was right there, so she cleverly puts it on the floor quickly so she doesn't travel.
Carroll on the drive. Nice use of the shot fake, and then connects.
You can just see that pressure. It's going to be hard for North Central to withstand that pressure if South Bend, Washington keeps that up the whole game.
Jones drives the baseline, kicks it out. That's Amaya Reynolds with it, number 1.
Amaya will run the point for them, primarily.
Down to Mila. She swings it cross court. Open 3 from the left wing. Off the mark. Long rebound and chased down by Kira Reynolds. Into the corner to Mila.
2 of the Reynolds sisters have committed to Maryland. Amaya and Mila, the junior and senior. Right now they're just kind of passing it around. North Central staying in their man-to-man defense, but it is definitely a packed-in sort of man-to-man. It almost looks like a 1-2-2. Maybe they've switched to that. Yeah, it's a 1-2-2.
Try to get it down to the cutter, and a nice pass and a nice finish down low from Kira Reynolds. The youngest of the sisters. She's a 6'3" freshman. Carroll brings it up. And that three was blocked away and out of bounds.
Kira getting her first block of the game. I mentioned she averages nearly 6 a game. That time North Central did a better job of breaking the press, but right now they've got to do a little bit better job of reading the defense. Once you break that press, if they're going to fly at you, you got to shot fake and go around, just like we saw Mackenzie Carroll do the last time.
Step back three for Welch is off the mark. And a rebound to South Bend, Washington. Mila Reynolds out of the corner for three.
Her second one of the night already early on.
And a tie-up in the backcourt out of the trap. And the possession arrow will keep it with North Central. North Central comes in today 5-2 on the season. They're already 1-0 in MIC conference play. South Bend, Washington at 7-0. They've already played 4 conference games, and they're 4-0 in conference play. They are the number 1 team in 3A in Indiana, number 2 in the coaches poll. But we did the Crown Point game earlier today. They had a loss to Mount Notre Dame, so with a win tonight, it could elevate South Bend, Washington to number 1.
Yeah, a little bit of a shakeup. Crown Point losing and Bedford North Lawrence losing.
And there was a trap, and lucky to retain possession there.
You see, every time the ball gets into a ball handler's hands, South Bend, Washington is just going to bring the trap, although that time they just get the steal.
And a steal on the inbounds, and they give it right back. Welch, little step back jumper, no good. A rebound down low and a foul. That was Samara Douglas on the board.
Good battle by Douglas on that weak side to kind of seal, to get that rebound coming off.
That foul went on Jones.
Inbound right now. Even that shot was affected by Amaya Reynolds. Right now, North Central just not getting very many clean looks at the basket.
Jones kicks it out. Now top of the key.
Right now, they're just kind of spread out, trying to see if they can find a seam. They're going to run a shooter off the baseline. Not in any big hurry, as they've built a pretty good sized lead early on.
Oh, a nice pull up there. That's Monique Mitchell off the bench for 2. Mitchell, a 5'11 freshman for the Panthers.
So many weapons the Panthers have. They're deep, and they'll continue to press the entire, as much as they can, because they have that depth.
Oh, and a nice look down low, but good recovery, and then a nice dish to Welch on the cut.
That's something, if North Central will just be patient and keep cutting. One of the things that happens with South Bend Washington's press or trap, they might lose somebody going to the basket, just like happened right there.
Jones tries to drive, and a nice job there by Douglas to cut her off on the baseline, and she dribbles it out of bounds. Nakaya Harris into the game for North Central, number 32, 5'11 junior.
It's like they're trying to take Welch away. They were doubling her up on the inbound. They got to get it across the timeline right now.
It took a long time, but they get it across. And that's going to be an offensive foul against Harris.
Mila Reynolds taking that charge.
First personal foul on Harris. North Central's second team foul.
It's a luxury to have Amaya Reynolds, 6-foot point guard.
Yeah, good problem to have, right?
Yep.
Gets it to Mila Reynolds, open three off the mark, but a rebound tapped out to Jones.
Nice little flare screen for Reynolds. For Mila Reynolds, they really utilize her as a three-point shooter. And then what she'll do is she'll dive down and grab rebounds and get something on the inside after she stretches the defense. North Central content to stay in that little, it looked like a 1-2-2, but it's more like a 3-2, kind of flat across the top.
Here comes North Central. And a nice block on the recovery there by Maya Reynolds. And then that jumper comes up short, but it's saved off of Washington. It'll stay down here with North Central.
Nakia Harris doing a nice job of keeping that ball alive. North Central's just going to have to, they're really just going to have to battle right now because the pressure from South Bend, Washington is bothering them. They got to find a way to get some clean looks at the basket.
On the drive, scoops it up, does not get the roll. That was Ava Couch, number 13. Welch in the paint, and she gets that one to go.
And credit Harris again for just keeping that ball alive. She's made a couple little nice hustle plays to help her team be able to score the basketball.
Timeout taken 30 seconds. 14-10 is our score, just under a minute to go here in the first quarter. And Coach Reynolds wanted to talk it over with his crew there.
I think the offensive rebounds were what bothering Coach Reynolds. I mean, when you've got a lineup of 6 foot, 6'3", 6'3", you'd expect to get every defensive rebound. So I'm pretty sure he's not too happy that North Central's been able to keep that ball alive.
And it looked like specifically, I think he was maybe upset with a couple of people starting to leak out, trying to get ahead of the fast break.
Yep. Got to secure that board first, and then you can leak out all you want.
14-10, 40 seconds to go here in the first quarter of game number 7 here from Brownsburg. Sneakers for Santa Shootout. Mila Reynolds kicks it out there.
Kira coming off the dribble.
And they drop it off to Kira. Little contact, she can't connect. And here comes North Central. Push it ahead to Harris, and Harris is going to be called for an offensive foul.
That's a second charge that Mila Reynolds has taken as the 6'3" post player. That's pretty impressive. Harris that time just kind of dropped her shoulder just enough. You got to make that call. I like the aggressiveness by North Central. They get something going to the basket. That's a good thing, but you got to come up with the basket instead of the foul.
Yeah, that's twice that Harris has kind of searched out that body contact but dipped that shoulder too much, and that's kind of an obvious call for an official.
North Central going to stay in that 3-2. That time they got the steal.
And a nice steal there by Hooks. And Hooks drives down, tries to finish, but it's blocked out of bounds. And a nice job by Mila Reynolds to get back.
So now we've got a block by Amaya, a block by Amila, and a block by Kira. So the Reynolds sisters wreaking havoc on all the shooters from North Central so far. Little shot fake will go along the way, I would say. Once they've blocked it a few times, now you can hopefully bait them into trying to get up in the air.
3.5 seconds to go here in the quarter. They get it into Hooks. Hooks a 3 from the corner. That's not going to go, and that'll do it. Into the first quarter from Brownsburg, and South Bend, Washington leads 14-10 in this Battle of the Panthers on the ISC Sports Network.
It's here. The moment that will define you. So think of this moment as your moment. The one you've been waiting for. You were built for it. And so were we. WGU, the online university where ambition never rests.
Hi, I'm Query.
And I'm Schultz.
And of course, we do the incredibly creatively and appropriately named Query and Schultz program every Monday on ISC Sports Network. Derek, it airs at what time?
7:30.
Okay, every Monday at 7:30. We're now on season number 2, and if history tells us anything, catch us now because you never know when they pull the plug on it.
Why would you say that?
Because it's happened
That's not going
before.
to happen here. Comcast, Xfinity 81, ISCSportsNetwork.com, ISC Sports Network, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, so many places to watch. Query and Schultz, 7:30 on Monday.
14-10 as we get set for the second quarter. As I mentioned before, this is game number 7 here from Brownsburg today in the Sneakers for Santa Shootout. Not only a great day of hoops, but a great day for donations and collections happening at the high school. And not only are they going to do that today, they're going to do it next week as part of the boys' Sneakers for Santa Shootout. 7 more games will be held at Brownsburg High School next Saturday. You can catch all those again right here on the ISC Sports Network. That shot no good, and North Central out of the gate and back. And you mentioned it, Coach, at the break, that it looked early on like South Bend Washington was maybe just going to get out and kind of run away, and North Central did a pretty good job of battling back the second part of that first quarter.
Yeah, they outscore South Bend Washington 6-2 in the last 4 minutes of that first quarter, which stabilized because it looked like the Panthers. South Bend Washington was going to run away with it as they built a early 12-4 lead off of the press.
Got a lot of duplicate names in this game. You know, Panthers, Reynolds. You're going to hear that a lot.
I think that foul was Mila Reynolds, if I'm not mistaken, on that block.
Welch goes 2 for 2.
She scored the last 6 points for North Central.
14-12 is our score. And now North Central kind of back into that 3-2 zone or 1-2-2. And there's a 3 out of the corner, off the front of the rim, and a nice board down low and a good block out by Samara Douglas. And that pass is picked off by Mila Reynolds, and then a reach-in will go against Couch.
Well, you can't very well skip pass against that size. You're better off to try to penetrate off the dribble, see if you can get in the lane, and then you can maybe pull in that defender and make that pass. But from that wing spot, that's probably not going to go through too many times.
Right into the middle of the zone and drops it off to Mila Reynolds.
Maya Reynolds with the high post flash, and anytime that ball comes into the paint, really puts a strain on your defense.
And a pull up there and a nice one. That's Trinity Archie for 2.
North Central's kind of stabilized. They've figured out how to get some shots off. They were getting blocked early on.
Mila from the corner. That's no good. And another rebound for Douglas.
Just hang out on that weak side and wait for the ball to come to you.
And a 3 from the corner and back-to-back buckets from Trinity Archie. And all of a sudden, North Central's got the lead.
I think South Bend Washington relaxed a little bit. They were able to set their press after scoring, and now they haven't scored.
How about the same play? Welch kicks it out, and that one won't go down for Archie. Just could not get the roll. And I think they're going to get a foul on the rebound. And that'll go on Welch. That's the first on her. So 17-16 North Central. As we talked about, it looked like South Bend Washington was going to get out and run early in this game. North Central really has battled back and looking strong right now.
You just got to break that press, and one way to break the press is not let South Bend Washington score so they can't set the press.
There was a deep 3, and that's good from Jones.
Shunda Jones.
Jones coming into tonight averaging 16.3 points per game. South Bend Washington with 3 scorers averaging in double figures on the season.
Well, that's one thing I will say about Jones is sometimes the Reynolds sisters get quite a bit of attention, but Rashunda Jones's game is very, very good.
And Archie's been hot for North Central. She got that last bucket.
She scored 7 straight.
Pull up, and that was short. Mila Reynolds is going to bring it up. Throws it ahead to Jones. And down low, and there was a foul. The pass was a little late getting there, but Shamara Allen will go to the free throw line.
North Central foul, 20, Samara Douglas. Her first personal
And that foul goes on Douglas for North Central. That's her first.
Shamar Allen, shooting 2.
And Allen connects on the first one.
10 Mackenzie Carroll back for North Central.
South Bend, Washington looking to get back to the state finals as they were last year. They have a lot of their team back, so high expectation for this Panther team.
And they're going to wave that free throw off. I think maybe she stepped into the lane before.
Now they get that press going again, so this seems to energize their offense.
And there's a steal. Allen on the drive, can't finish, a lot of contact, and that landed out of bounds, and it's going to be North Central basketball.
Amaya Reynolds on that steal just read that pass perfectly. Again, we see North Central having difficulty breaking the press. South Bend, Washington, very quick, anticipate very well, and they trap it very well.
And a reach-in foul. And I'm not sure if that'll go on Amaya Reynolds or that will be
I think
Ryan
they got
Wilson.
Ryan Wilson.
Yeah, it'll be Wilson. That's her first.
25, Lauren Gillen in for South Bend, Washington.
Lauren Gillen comes into the game for South Bend, Washington, 5'6" senior, number 25.
A little 2-2-1 press, looking to trap once it gets past the half.
Douglas on the move and has her shot blocked.
That was Kira Reynolds on the backside, and she's the back of the 2-2-1. So anything that gets passed out of their traps and they don't get anything defensively, she's the rim protector.
Jones for 3, off the mark. They try to save it in, and that one's picked up by Mackenzie Carroll on the move. She couldn't finish the drive. And they kick it out.
Carroll just hesitated a little bit. She had a layup if she just goes straight up, but I think, just hearing the footsteps, feeling like somebody's going to come and block it.
Douglas got the offensive board, and that one was blocked away by Reynolds.
I think it was Bill Russell who said, you don't have to block every shot. You just got to make them think that you're going to block every shot. And I think that's what's happening right now with South Bend, Washington.
A deep 3 off the mark, but an offensive rebound and a putback for Ryan Wilson.
Fresh bodies off the bench. Ryan Wilson bringing a little bit energy for South Bend, Washington.
Basket to Ryan Wilson.
North Central finally settling down and breaking this press with a pass. But
3 out of the corner
yeah.
is long. And a traveling violation will go against Amaya Reynolds there.
That 3 by Destiny Hooks. She's a good shooter, so it's probably not outside of the realm of what she can do, but when you've broken that press and you really need a layup, you can shot fake that and take it hard to the basket, so you definitely can get the score that you need.
Pass is tipped and picked off. Mila Reynolds has it. It's 3-on-2. Can they take advantage? She pulls up from the free throw line. No good. Offensive rebound. Takes it back up, and that one won't go down. Ava Couch for 3. No good. Got her own rebound.
North Central just battling right now. Scrappy.
And there's another bucket for Trinity Archie. She's got 9 points here in the second quarter, does Archie.
They've been 9 in a row, Thad. She has scored all the last 9 points for North Central. Actually, I take it back. 7 in a row. 7 of the last 9. She has found her range.
Amaya Reynolds will go to the free throw line. Bonus situation now for South Bend, Washington. She gets the first one.
Coach Reynolds seems like he uses free throws as a timeout. His team not even in the screen because they're back with him, and he may be doing, I don't know if he's coaching, I'm not sure, but they don't even line up on the free throw line. Perhaps that's a sign of what great shooters they are.
Full court pressure again here from Washington. Couch with it on the drive and somehow gets that up and over Reynolds with the left hand. That was Jones on the drive, and she was fouled.
Foul is on 11. Kaden Kreinhagen, her first personal, team's 8th.
And foul went on number 11, Caden Kreinhagen.
Rashonda Jones at the line, shooting 2.
Jones is 64% free throw shooter on the season.
This is the first. And misses number 2. 24-23 as we approach 2 minutes left here in the half. Douglas will step in jumper. That one's short. Mila Reynolds short range jumper's good.
Pressure still coming. I don't think South Bend, Washington will let that up. It's been working for them so far, and almost worked again.
Wanamaya Reynolds and 11, Kira Reynolds back for South Bend, Washington.
Archie going to take a deep three, and she's feeling it.
That's a heat check shot there. She was feeling it. Just knock it down.
I like that. Yeah, when you're feeling it, let it fly.
That's right. Keeps her team close. Keeps them in the game right now. Let's go.
Jones has it right wing. Now she's going to drive the baseline, double clutch, and finishes.
That's a nice finish. Just spread the defense out. Just kind of waited to see what was happening. Saw that she had an advantage on the baseline.
Archie trying to work through a double team, and her pass deflected. Couch wisely waits for it to go across midcourt before she collects it.
North Central just doing a little handoff offense right now.
Archie again for 3.
She is on fire.
Unbelievable. And they're going to get a foul, and they're going to say that was in the act of shooting, and that's going to send Amaya Reynolds to the free throw line.
How about that?
That foul goes on Archie. Like the only thing she's done wrong here in the second quarter. Reynolds gets the first one. One out of 2 on the trip. Welch pushes it up. 25 seconds to go here in the half. Couch with a couple shot fakes. Now gets it back to Archie.
I'd say keep it with Archie with as hot as she's been.
Down the lane, can't finish with the left. They get it back. Welch has got time to get the shot off, and a reach-in foul will happen with 0.3 seconds to go.
Foul at 35, Monique Mitchell. Her first personal, team's 5th.
Just the 15th foul, though, so no bonus, so 0.3 of a second.
Had fouls to give, I guess.
Timeout, North Central.
Timeout taken by North Central. 30-second timeout here.
30-second timeout.
With .3, technically you can still catch and shoot with .3, but obviously has to be very, very quick. And so maybe Coach Ramey try to drop a play, maybe to get it into Archie's hands for one quick jumper.
Yeah, either that or maybe Destiny Hooks or Danielle Welch coming across the lane for a tip or something of that nature.
And it was tipped on the inbound pass, and that'll do it. At the end of the first half, 29-29 between South Bend, Washington, and North Central. Just as we start a tie game as we go to the second half here on the ISC Sports Network.
High school sports fans, welcome back to Game Time, to pure spirit, to pure sports. Welcome back to high school sports.
Fans, I'm IHSA Commissioner Paul Knighty, and I just want to say, welcome back.
This is Game Time. This is Indiana high school sports. This is your IHSAA.
Your life is on the go. Now your viewing habits can be on the go. With the ISC Sports Network app, your team is at your fingertips. You can download years' worth of content from the ISC Sports Network library. High school, college, special events, weekly and monthly shows, wherever you find your favorite app. And you can always find out more information at iscsportsnetwork.com.
Of the literally thousands, check that, hundreds, check that. Okay, some sports card shows that are out there in the world. The Andy and Bruno show is the one you should watch, because we have Andy, who's been there and done that, everything in the hobby, and is now a mogul.
Mogul.
Yes.
And we have a guy, Bruno, he talks too much. I can't help it.
Watch the Andy and Bruno show and hear me talk too much.
Yes, and hear me smile.
This is your IHSAA. This is your state. This is your high school. This is your athletic association.
Fans, I'm IHSA Commissioner Paul Knighty, and we're here to make sure that all of this remains yours.
This is your state. This is your community. This is your IHSAA.
Yeah, I think what keeps me going is just we're doing good work, right? Like part of it is my own experience, right? Like I grew up in a trailer park in western Pennsylvania. I was the first person in my family to go to college. My kids live vastly different lives than I did when I was growing up. And so, that's what I want for my students is for them to have that opportunity, right? For them to move up, and for their kids, right? We were talking about the transgenerational impacts it's crazy.
Feels like we're making a difference.
Yeah, really. One person at a time. It sounds cliche, but it truly is.
Yeah. So. I was sitting here wondering, over the course of time working at WGU, do you have any concept of how many students is there any way to quantitate that?
How many students
that you've actually worked with in your caseload? Because you're churning, right?
Right? Yeah. You could count graduates, but there's still so many students that, we kind of touch and then something happens. It's a little over 200, I think, at this point.
Pretty amazing.
So,
that's a lot of lives, right?
Yeah.
You think about the impact of that.
Mm-hmm. And then like their families. Yeah. Absolutely.
That's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Thanks, Chris, for coming in today. Actually, not too long ago, we had a student of ours, Anitra Cooley, come in for a special visit, and she was surprised by her program mentor, Karen Hollenbeck. So take a look, check out this footage.
Okay, now you can turn around.
Oh, this is I prayed for somebody that could, because I knew it was going to be online and I was going to have to be motivated, and I'm a bit of a procrastinator. So I said, please give me somebody that'll be stern and give me what I need, and be careful what you ask for. I got the most wonderful mentor, and I had no idea at the time how much she was going to impact my life, and that she would end up being my colleague and later on my friend. And I want to mention her name, Karen Hollenbeck. She got me. She said, you get up. I was like, I cry and I don't want to do it. And she said, you get up and you get it done and you figure it out. And I'll call you back later and see if you got it. And you know, she just was a motivator, and she told me I could do it, and she believed in me. And that was at a time when I didn't really all the way believe in myself as I was starting out. And I was thinking I was going to fail at this too. May 16th was the day I passed my NCLEX, and the day I found out, I believe, was like the 19th. And I'll never forget that day. I get a little teary-eyed about it because my journey from an abused child trying to navigate herself through the world, who was so sad on herself before that I had tried to harm myself in my teenage years several times because I didn't know where to go, and I was lost. And then I left home at 19, and it was up and down, up and down. And I didn't think I could be here today. I didn't think I was smart enough. I didn't think I was good enough. And they gave me an opportunity, and I was able to do that. And I'm never going to forget WGU. I always tell people I'm a night owl for life, and plus I like to stay up late. So I'm grateful. If you know anybody, and I tell people all the time, and I know people, go to WGU. They will be there for you. You will never be alone. It's just a process. And if you need somebody, there was not one time when I called and I was met with rudeness or disregard. It was always important to them. And I never experienced that. And it just gave me the energy and helped catapult me forward. And look at me now. I have more than doubled my income. I'm able to take care of things, you know, the way I feel secure. I can get something to eat. My car tire is low. I can do that. If I want to just help something out or even give to somebody for something, I can do that without worrying about starving myself. I can get my prescriptions. I had insurance, but I couldn't afford my prescriptions sometimes. It just was little things like that. And I know people are really working hard now and they want to do better. But WGU, I always say, has turned me into a new me. And if you want to be the best you, I say go to WGU.
Hi, I'm Query.
And I'm Schultz.
And of course, we do the incredibly creatively and appropriately named Query and Schultz program every Monday on ISC Sports Network. Derek, it airs at what time?
7:30.
Okay, every Monday at 7:30. We're now on season number 2, and if history tells us anything, catch us now because you never know when they pull the plug on it.
Why would you say that?
Because it's happened
That's not going to happen here. Comcast, Xfinity 81, ISCSportsNetwork.com, ISC Sports Network, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, so many places to watch Query and Schultz, 7:30 on Monday.
Halftime at Brownsburg, and we're knotted up at 29 North Central and South Bend, Washington. Thad Van Deventer and Coach Schott here with you at the break. And, Coach, very entertaining first half, and we saw a lot of people step up in different roles, especially Trinity Archie for North Central, putting up 17 points in the first half.
Well, she kind of held off the South Bend, Washington Panthers by herself by getting hot, and her teammates got her the basketball, so that kept North Central close. It looked like South Bend, Washington's press and defense was going to run away with it, but somehow North Central was able to stabilize. Credit to Trinity Archie for getting that done on the offensive end.
All right, other than Archie, where does North Central look for some offense? We've seen their offense have some difficulty against that defense from South Bend, Washington.
Well, I think, and you mentioned it earlier, just the length from South Bend, Washington. You can't practice against it. You can't hardly be prepared for it. And so once they figured out, okay, we can pass fake, we can make sure we break that press first, and they got some good looks going to the basket. I think, you know, when you look at Destiny Hooks and Tanielle Welch, they can make moves to that basket. So there are two offensive players that are going to help you to go along with Archie.
Pretty balanced scoring for South Bend, Washington, but they got 10 from Mila Reynolds and 8 from Rashunda Jones, and that's not to be not expected from those two stars that they have.
They're so balanced, and they have so many double-figure scorers, and it just depends whoever's night it is. And Mila Reynolds is somebody that, she's a Maryland commit. She's been great all around. She can hit from the outside. She can go inside. To go along with her, Rashunda Jones did a great job of attacking the basket, and so they just have so many weapons. It's difficult. North Central stayed in that 3-2 defense and was able to at least get a few defensive rebounds to get it going, but now they're going to have to see, hopefully, that if South Bend Washington doesn't get hot in the second half, that defense will work.
Tie game here at halftime. What makes the difference in the second half for who's going to win?
Well, I think South Bend Washington's going to continue to, try to press. That press wears you down, and we'll see if North Central can withstand it. And then once they do break it, if they can get, layups or good looks at the basket, you can keep it close. So I expect it to be another good second half.
29-29 here at the break, and as we mentioned, Trinity Archie 17 points in the first half. And as a former shooter myself, I liked how she had those heat checks, and she was like, "Hey, I'm feeling it. I'm pulling the trigger," and she was nailing them from deep.
She did, and it was great. It's exactly what you want a kid to do. If they're feeling it, knock it down, and that's how they kept it close. So we're all tied up. Let's try, see if we can get somebody to come out a winner after this half.
It'll be North Central basketball here to start our third quarter. Game number 7 for the Sneakers for Santa Shootout here at Brownsburg. And as I've mentioned earlier in the first half, they're going to duplicate this next weekend on the boys' side. So 7 boys' games at Brownsburg next Saturday. And there's a steal on the first possession, and it was Jones on the breakaway. And then Welch comes from behind and commits the foul.
You just cannot relax. That pass was just a little casual, is how I would describe that pass. She was just kind of shoveling it off so they could start something on the offensive end, and Rashunda Jones just jumped in that passing lane. Great job by the junior defender.
As I mentioned at halftime, she scored 8 in the first half. There was number 9, her 9th point, but not yet to double figures as she misses the second one.
North Central trying to get something free, going to the basket here. Trying to do a handoff. That handoff is tough because they're going to trap.
Welch trapped in the corner and then kind of gets bailed out there on a call and a foul against Rashunda Jones.
Yeah, Mila Reynolds and Rashunda Jones were setting that trap. Anytime they set a ball screen or try to do a handoff, you're going to get that trap. So you can get out of it, then it'd be good because now you've got an advantage, but tough to do.
Down low and a bucket for Destiny Hooks.
Nice play to get a little flex screen out of the baseline out of bounds play. Free her up for a nice bucket down low.
It would be nice for North Central if that gets Hooks going. She's one of their more dependable scorers. That's just her 4th point of the evening.
Foul on 10, Mackenzie Carroll, her second personal, team second.
Foul away from the ball there, and that goes against Mackenzie Carroll.
North Central's going to stay in their zone, but it flattens out just because South Bend Washington playing a 1-4. And that play, just a little lob pass to Reynolds, Mila Reynolds, for her to tip it in.
And jump ball, the possession arrow will keep it down here with South Bend Washington. And a traveling violation there against Rashunda Jones. So man-to-man defensively here for South Bend Washington, as they have most of the game. Trinity Archie for 3. Maybe the halftime cooled her down.
Yeah. That's one of those, if you're a shooter, you don't want it to be half.
That's Jones on the drive, and she's into double figures now with 11.
Right now, they're just trying to set some screens for hooks and for Welch.
And that one deflected out of bounds by Jones. Nice recovery.
Samara Douglas, I think so far in the first 2 minutes, I've seen her set about 10 screens. She just keeps running around, trying to free up Trinity Archie, Destiny Hooks, and Tanya Welch.
Well, Archie nearly caught that one. That would.
Yeah.
You mentioned Douglas setting the screen. She's got a tough matchup as she's outsized by Mila Reynolds on the offensive end. So to post her up, she's still at a 4 to 5 inch detriment. There's Welch on the drive. She takes some contact, can't finish, but she's going to go to the free throw line.
Again, Douglas setting the screen, but Welch refuses the screen, takes it down hard to the left side. South Bend Washington overplaying her right hand just a little bit, so she had that left-hand drive.
That foul went on Rashunda Jones for South Bend Washington, and that's her third. So 5:53 to go in the third quarter. She picks up her third, and Welch connects on that first free throw. She's now 3 for 3 from the line so far tonight.
North Central just hanging around, not letting South Bend Washington take off.
Now they retake the lead, 33-32 on the made free throws.
Amaya Reynolds trying to direct traffic a little bit, get two players at the elbows.
Jones open for three. Oh, and a nice steal down low and a layup. That is Ryan Wilson, a freshman with a bucket.
Just kind of hanging around, waiting for the ball to get stripped out.
And a travel there against Destiny Hooks. Kind of drove it into some traffic and didn't really have anywhere to go.
Well, one thing that North Central needs to continue to do, when they were moving the basketball back and forth and making South Bend Washington play some defense and shifting that defense back and forth, they had a greater opportunity to either get to the basket on a drive. Anytime you try to do that right away against that length, South Bend Washington's going to get you.
And that one thrown away and picked up by Douglas. Ava Couch for three, and she connects.
North Central had numbers because South Bend Washington tried to trap it, and they got out of it pretty easily.
A nice spin there by Wilson causes the foul from Couch.
Foul 13, Ava Couch, her second personal, team's third.
Jones for three, and that one's good.
Nice screen, just little design play to have her pop out on that left side for a three.
Puts Washington back ahead by one, 37-36. Down low to Douglas. Douglas powers it up, can't get it to go. Battle for the rebound. She tried to save it in, did Carroll, but it's out of bounds.
Douglas trying to score over Mila Reynolds. I think just getting the shot off might be considered a success, but can't get it to go down.
Full timeout taken by North Central. 37-36. South Bend Washington leads. 4:05 to go here in the third quarter. Since 2010, WGU Indiana has made it possible for more than 12,000 Hoosiers to earn their bachelor's or master's degrees without putting their lives on pause. Fully accredited, fully online, WGU Indiana was designed to fit your schedule and at a fraction of the cost of traditional four-year universities. In honor of its 11th anniversary, WGU Indiana is offering $11,000 scholarships to new students pursuing degrees in business, IT, teaching, and nursing. Visit wgu.edu and click on the tuition and financial aid tab to learn more. WGU Indiana, the University of You. A lot of back and forth here in this third quarter, Coach. This has been pretty entertaining, and right now it feels a little bit similar to the game we had prior to this between Fremd and B&L, where it was back and forth and we came all the way down to the final shot.
Yeah, absolutely. And both teams just kind of jockeying for position right now. Rashonda Jones has been big for South Bend, Washington in this third quarter. And I'm impressed that North Central has just stabilized and been able to handle the press and been able to get some good looks at the basket. They're staying in that 3-2 zone. It's worked so far for the most part, shutting off driving lanes.
Jones with a deep three. That one no good, and here comes Carroll.
Nice behind-the-back dribble to get rid of pressure.
Douglas has her shot blocked by Mila Reynolds. Couch looking for another three, and she gets it.
Ava Couch just hanging out on the perimeter, waiting for somebody to kick it out to her. Catch and shoot. She's got a quick release.
Back-to-back triples for Couch, and then Rashonda Jones answers with her three.
Speaking of quick release, Rashonda Jones, she's a bucket.
40-39.
Both teams just doing a nice job of taking care of the basketball. This has been a quick quarter, not a lot of turnovers, a lot of great shooting. See Douglas
Trinity
with that.
Archie, bang!
And it was Douglas with the three, or the screen again. She knows where how to get scores for her team. Get the screen set for Trinity Archie.
3 straight triples from North Central, 2 from Couch, now another from Archie. Puts them ahead 42-40. And they got an offensive foul. Both officials blew their whistles, kind of looked at each other, and then they called the offensive foul.
I couldn't see what. Maybe she got a little elbow. I'm not sure. Whatever it was.
So 42-40, 2:34 left here in the third quarter.
South Bend, Washington bringing the pressure again, man-to-man now.
Into the paint, now kicks it out to Douglas. Back out for three. That one rims out, and a big board there from Mila Reynolds. Kick out for an open three. That one off the mark, and that's going to be a foul on the rebound, and that'll go against Lauren Gillen, 25, who just checked in a couple of moments ago for South Bend, Washington.
I wasn't watching what happened, but there was a body that flew out underneath the baseline, and Lauren Gillen would be the only person that it could have been. Maybe there was a collision, whatever it was. She picks up the foul. A lot of pressure by South Bend, Washington.
Oh, and a good look there from Couch, who hits Douglas, who's wide open for the lay-in.
Samara Douglas has been setting all those screens for everybody else, and finally she gets her own because they trapped and were able to pass out of the trap. Good attack.
4-point lead now for North Central. Jones drives the baseline and then drops it off to Reynolds, and there's a foul. And Jones,
she kind of landed awkwardly on that pass.
And I wasn't
She's walking
sure
it off.
Maybe she got a knee to the, maybe a knee-to-knee situation.
She's walking it off.
Skip pass to Mila Reynolds. Her three off the mark. Rebound is loose. Now Jones.
Get a reset for South Bend, Washington.
Double team down low on Reynolds. She tries to spin out of it. And I think they're going to get her on an offensive foul for
the hook.
Chicken wing there.
Yep. She's got a lot of attention down there. She was getting double and triple teams, so that's it's understandable because you feel that pressure a little bit. She can kick it out to one of her shooters. Looking for that trap again.
They get the deflection, but Hooks gets it. Archie 3, bang!
Trinity Archie.
23 points already tonight for Trinity Archie, and that's her 5th three-pointer.
Wow. North Central on an 8-0 run right now. 2 of those threes in that run from Archie.
Back to Jones. She tries to match, and she cannot.
Pretty deep on that one. She was a couple 3 feet behind the three-point line.
That one was deflected, and they're going to say that it's South Bend, Washington ball.
Must have been off of Archie.
11 Kira Reynolds back for South Bend, Washington.
South Bend, Washington has not scored since the 3-minute mark of this quarter. They need to get a bucket just to kind of get some rhythm back.
Trying to lob it down low, and they throw it away. Miscommunication.
Leaves North Central enough time to score again. They could really get some momentum going into the third quarter.
Yeah, make a shot here before the end of the period, and wouldn't bury South Bend, Washington, but give them a pretty big hole to dig out of.
Double-digit lead possible.
Archie with it, 10 to go. Now over to Hooks. Hooks double teamed. Now it's on the floor, and a jump ball will keep it with North Central. 2.3 now to go on the clock.
Just not enough north-south action there, trying to go side to side, and that just allowed for South Bend, Washington's trap to get set very effectively.
Tried to get in a closer shot, but it was knocked away, and that'll do it for the third quarter. And a huge run from North Central gives them a 7-point lead going to the fourth, 47-40 on the ISC Sports Network.
It's here. The moment that will define you. So think of this moment as your moment. The one you've been waiting for. You were built for it. And so were we. WGU, the online university where ambition never rests.
Hi, I'm Query.
And I'm Schultz.
And of course, we do the incredibly creatively and appropriately named Query and Schultz program every Monday on ISC Sports Network. Derek, it airs at what time?
7:30.
Okay, every Monday at 7:30. We're now on season number 2, and if history tells us anything, catch us now because you never know when they pull the plug on it.
Why would you say that?
Because it's happened
That's not going
before.
to happen here. Comcast, Xfinity 81, ISCSportsNetwork.com, ISC Sports Network, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, so many places to watch Query and Schultz, 7:30 on Monday.
Back here at Brownsburg High School, the final quarter of play in the 7th game of the day here from Brownsburg High. And right now the Panthers of North Central leading South Bend, Washington 47-40. 18 points in the third quarter for North Central, including 4 threes, 2 from Ava Couch and 2 from Trinity Archie. And Coach, it's really just been a really nice shooting display from North Central here tonight.
Well, and North Central did a nice job of breaking the press and not panicking. So when they got out of the trap, they found those open jump shooters, and Archie and Couch filling it up. On the other side, South Bend, Washington Rashunda Jones had a big quarter for them. Now they got to get the rest of the team involved, and you see that right there. Rashunda Jones going to the baseline again.
And a nice bucket there from Jones, and a really nice way to start the quarter for South Bend Washington. Cuts the lead down to 5.
Still see that pressure.
Welch on the drive. And that was just Reynolds didn't block the shot like you mentioned earlier, but she was there and disrupted the shot, if you will. And then a turnover, though, gives it right back to North Central.
South Bend Washington right now got to get that offensive flow back that they had in that first quarter. They looked really, really good to start the game. Hitting threes, sharing the basketball. They built a 8-point lead. And then once North Central kind of got a little confidence and answered, they haven't looked back.
Archie on the drive there couldn't connect. So South Bend Washington trying to cut into the lead, and there's a traveling violation called there against Kira Reynolds.
I don't know about that travel. It looked like it was awkward, and so sometimes it looks like, but I think she jump stopped and kept her feet about her.
Well, Coach Reynolds did not like it. Voicing his displeasure from the bench.
Yeah. Lots of deflection. South Bend Washington just really hassling North Central right now.
Now they're sending an extra defender at the ball. Welch, a little 15-footer, no, but the follow on the rebound is good by Destiny Hooks.
Great timing on that. Didn't even come down off the rebound, just tipped it in.
Reynolds down low, double teamed, and she's going to be fouled, and I think they'll get Hooks on the reach in.
I feel like that could be, North Central doesn't have an answer for 6'3" solid posts, so that could be a way for South Bend Washington to put a little bit of hurt on the Panthers, get it inside.
There's that tip play we saw earlier. That time she connects.
Great timing by Reynolds. Great pass by her sister, Amaya.
Lead back down to 5. Welch on the drive, and they're going to get a hand check call there against South Bend Washington.
That's 4 on Rashunda Jones, and she's been here in the second half. She's been South Bend Washington's offense. I think they're going to have to get her out of the game. A lot of time left.
And there comes the sub. It's going to be Lauren Gillen coming in for Jones. Archie with it. Throws it down low to Douglas. Now the extra defender comes. She kicks it out to Hooks for 3. That's no good. Offensive board for Douglas. And they're going to call a jump ball as Douglas tried to take it up. And it is going to stay down here with North Central.
I like this North Central team. They're finding a way. That's a great offensive rebound by Archie. Douglas is still setting some great screens for people.
A timeout taken and a full timeout taken by North Central. Get a quote, and it might get you a ticket. Get a quote from the Ryan Owens Agency of Allstate Insurance on the south side of Indy, and you'll be entered into a monthly drawing for a college hoops experience with Ryan Owens and Greg Regstraw going to some of the top college games across the state. Search for the Owens Agency on Facebook or call 317-802-1550 to find out how you can win by getting great rates on all your insurance. Well, Coach, this has been kind of a heavyweight battle between these two. Both teams have kind of taken their shots, and both teams are still standing. But it does feel like North Central kind of has the control of the game right now as far as tempo and pace.
Yeah, for sure. I think part of that is they hit those three, gives them some confidence. But the other piece is they've taken away something South Bend, Washington relies upon, and that's the press. They've been able to break that press. They've gotten out of traps. They haven't turned it over terrifically here in the second half. And if you can do that and get good looks at the basket, then it really kind of puts South Bend, Washington in a bind because they rely on that press to get them points.
It'll be North Central basketball out of bounds on the baseline. That's Hooks with it. Still man-to-man here from South Bend, Washington.
Got a little bit of a lead, so they're going to look for a good look.
Hooks open three from the corner, and she drills it.
And it is Destiny Hooks.
Maya Reynolds trying to answer. She cannot. Ball loose on the floor. Bodies piling up on the loose ball. And if it goes to the possession arrow, it should stay here with South Bend, Washington, and it will.
Big shooting night for North Central Panthers. They just keep knocking down tray after tray. Everybody getting in the act.
That's their 8th three-pointer of the night.
So that was a nice counter. It looked like they were going to lob it again to Mila Reynolds, but instead of her catching and tapping it in, she drops it down to Lauren Gillum for an easy layup on the inbounds.
Hooks working against Reynolds out front, and Reynolds deflects it into the backcourt, but it's picked up by Welch. She's going to stop and pop a three, and that's no good.
Good defense by Reynolds that time. Just gets her hands on lots of balls.
Reynolds three, that's no good. Gillen down low working against Douglas, and they're going to say it's South Bend, Washington basketball. That one tapped away and stolen by North Central. Welch into the paint, crowded around by a couple of defenders, and Coach Ramey calls a timeout, and I think that would have avoided a turnover as a pass would have been stolen away.
She got down on the baseline and had basically 4 people around her, so she was either going to throw it away or that's probably what was going to happen.
WGU Indiana is the state's fully accredited online university offering more than 60 bachelor's and master's degrees in business, teaching, nursing, and IT. WGU Indiana exists to create pathways to opportunity for Hoosiers with its flexible model designed to meet you where you are in life and at a fraction of the cost of a traditional 4-year university. Visit WGU.edu to start your journey towards degree completion. WGU Indiana, the University of You. So still an advantage here for North Central, and as we talked about, Coach Ramey taking that timeout before the turnover occurred, and they've really gotten some good looks offensively the past few trips down.
Yeah, that's something that, just the ball movement, breaking the press, and sharing the basketball has given them an opportunity to build this little bit of a lead.
The inbound to Couch. Now Hooks on the right wing. And we'll also see how patient North Central can be with a 6-point lead. Douglas down low. No good. And a rebound to Kira Reynolds. And Rashunda Jones back into the game, and that is a deep three. No good. Jones with the board. Takes it up. Can't connect. Follow can't connect, and now Couch has it.
Boy, South Bend, Washington has just gone cold offensively. They've lost a lot of their rhythm.
Couch for a three, and she drills another one.
She has not gone cold.
Her third triple of the second half. Amaya Reynolds quickly down, and she gets the bucket. Good answer and good response. Lead back to 7. 3:20 to play.
It's good time and score recognition that time by Danielle Welch. She just held on to it. She might have shot it in another time, but they're at the 3-minute mark, and they're just trying to use up a little bit of clock as they had that 7-point lead.
Couch gets it to Welch. Pull up 15-footer. No good. Let's see if South Bend Washington can cut into this lead. Ahead to Jones. Jones on the drive. Spin off the glass, and that one won't go down. North Central with Welch backing it out. Now over to Hooks.
South Bend, Washington. It's like a heavyweight fight here. I think both teams are a little fatigued, and North Central's just trying to dribble around, see if they can pull them out of that. Maybe get them to foul.
Now
South
they send
Bend,
an
Washington.
extra defender,
Yep.
and there comes a foul.
Foul at South Bend, Washington. 11, Kira Reynolds, her second personal, team 7.
That foul went on Kira Reynolds. That's her second. And now Welch will go to the free throw line. She is 4 for 4 from the line tonight.
32, Micaiah Harris in for North Central.
Micaiah Harris checks in for North Central, number 32. And the first one's good. Two for two, perfect on the night so far. 6 for 6 from the stripe. Lead is at 9, just at 2 minutes, under 2 minutes to go.
Oh.
And a three, and a big three it was. And just like that, lead back down to 6, 57-51, and a full timeout taken by South Bend, Washington. Get a quote, and it might get you a ticket. Get a quote from the Ryan Owens Agency of Allstate Insurance on the south side of Indy, and you'll be entered into a monthly drawing for a college hoops experience with Ryan Owens and Greg Rakestraw going to some of the top college games across the state. Search for the Owens Agency on Facebook or call 317-802-1550 to find out how you can win by getting great rates on all your insurance. 1:53 to go, Coach. 6-point lead. Obviously, we expect South Bend Washington to apply the full court pressure here. How quickly, if you're Coach Reynolds, do you elect to foul in this situation, trailing by 6?
I mean, I think you try to get a steal, especially with as effective as that press has been, that trapping at least to the half court. And once it gets into the half court, you're going to have a little more difficult time. And I'd go ahead and find somebody to foul. You know, as I mentioned, it's kind of tough sometimes to know who to foul because you may not have the stats. But people I would definitely stay away with are those players that are hot from the three-point right now. Just they're feeling good. Ava Couch has gotten some threes. We've already been talking about Trinity Archie knocking down some threes. So those are two people that I definitely would stay away from, as well as Destiny Hooks.
Right now, from the free throw line tonight, North Central is 8 for 8 from the stripe. And that's just two players. Tanwell Welch is 6 for 6, and Trinity Archie 2 for 2. They break the press with relative ease, and Hooks has it.
Well, they've got Mila Reynolds up top, and that's for her length. But then they got to trap that or do something to try to make it so that North Central, there it is.
And there's a steal. They get it ahead to Mila Reynolds. Reynolds on the drive has it knocked away and out of bounds. And Coach Reynolds definitely wanted a foul call on that transaction.
I think sometimes, you know, the bigger players don't get the benefit of the doubt. There was body contact there, but because she's bigger, they just called it out of bounds. I think there was body contact on her shot.
I would agree. Reynolds, 3. Nope, but On the follow, wide open, couldn't connect. Ball is loose, and Welch pulls it out of there for North Central.
North Central right now just really milking the clock.
Couch, 3. Oh, could that be the dagger from Ava Couch?
What confidence. You know, you're trying to get a great shot or something going to the basket. She knocks a 3.
Reynolds couldn't match it, and rebound to Welch. Kira Reynolds for 3. That's off the mark. Rebound loose, and I think they're going to get Mila Reynolds on a reach in there. But you're right, Coach. The confidence, you're ahead 6, about a minute to go.
Yeah.
Throw it out to Couch, and she knocks in the 3.
Yeah, as a coach, you're going, no, yeah, good shot.
Great
That's what
shot.
it is. That's what, you know, and you tell your players. I love that she plays free and that she felt like she could knock it down. And you're right. That was a big shot for them. It kind of puts it almost out of reach. Not completely, but it definitely puts a little bit of question mark on South Bend, Washington, whether they can come back at this point.
9-point advantage in Trinity Archie to the free throw line, as I mentioned a couple moments ago. So far tonight, she's 2 for 2 from the stripe. She has not scored yet here in the fourth quarter. And actually, pardon me, they're going to switch the shooter. They're going to say that the foul occurred against Douglas, sending Douglas to the free throw line.
Well, we've seen South Bend, Washington score some quick points. So if I'm North Central, I'm not comfortable until that I see 0-0 on the time. So right now, I mean, South Bend, Washington has not been able to get anything going from the outside except for Rashonda Jones. But we know that they have other shooters. Mila Reynolds, they can hit threes. See what happens next.
1 for 2, so it's a 10-point lead. 45 seconds to go. A deep one there. That's no good. And a rebound for Hooks. And stolen away. Reverse layup won't go down, but the clock stops on the foul. And that'll send Ryan Wilson to the free throw line with 35 seconds left. That foul went on Hooks, and that's her 3rd.
Well, if you're South Bend, Washington, this is the way you could get back into it. If you can score points when the time is stopped, gives you a chance to set your press. If Ryan Wilson can knock this second free throw down.
Gets the first one. Two for 2.
They're going to face guard here and try to make something happen on the defensive end. Got the trap, didn't get the rotation.
Oh, and that one was knocked out of bounds, but it was off of South Bend, Washington.
Coach Reynolds has got his trapping, pressing team in there for defense.
And there's the turnover. They're pushing it. Ball got away, but right over to Gillen. She can't finish. Ball tapped out. Rashonda Jones and 1. Just as you said, it's not over just yet.
Over. They are not going away. They're going to try to make this interesting.
Lead at 6 right now. Jones at the line to try to make it 5. 20.2 to go. And she does.
Gets the old-fashioned three-point play. Rashonda Jones has had a nice game for South Bend, Washington.
Hooks is going to be the one to inbound. Nearly stolen away, and then a whistle.
I'll get a timeout.
And I think a timeout taken by North Central.
Well, it's a good thing, too, because they were about to steal that ball, and that would have been still plenty of time.
And that's twice Coach Ramey has called the timeout at just the perfect time, right before the turnover occurs. Like she's been around a little bit, you know?
She may have a few experiences with that.
All right, so we'll reset here quickly. 17.3 to go and a 5-point advantage for North Central, and they have the basketball.
But now they got to get the ball in bounds, which South Bend, Washington could be in lockdown defense. See what happens.
And that took a minute and very nearly stolen, and now a reach-in foul will go against Jones, and that's going to be number 5 against Rashunda Jones.
Tough
so
luck on that.
Foul out.
Because they did, you're right. They played that defense well enough, and the ball popped out, but they couldn't secure it. It ended up in North Central's hands.
And Rashunda Jones will foul out of the contest with 22 points on the evening. And this will be Destiny Hook's first free throw attempt of the evening. And no good.
Still time, 2-possession game if they can get a quick 3.
Mila Reynolds 3, no. And Couch is fouled on the rebound attempt.
Mila Reynolds had a tough day from behind the arc. She did hit those early in the first half, but then hasn't been able to find that range here in the second half.
First personal, teams 10. North Central now in the double bonus. Ava Couch shooting 2.
And a couple of free throws here from Couch would almost make this academic with the time on the clock, but she cannot connect.
Must be double bonus.
Gets the second one. Amaya Reynolds pushes it up. Got to get off a shot. There's Wilson for 3. That's no good. Rebound to Trinity Archie, fitting that she's the one that grabs it. And that'll do it. 62-56, North Central wins in this battle of top 10 teams. And Coach, we saw number 1 go down today. We saw number 3 go down today. And now we see number 2 go down today. And as you talked about, it's a good time to challenge yourself. But I would say having all 3 of those results a little bit unexpected.
Most definitely. We didn't know what it was going to be like by the end of the day. We got some great basketball, and the upsets happened. So big shakeup in the top 3, and as far as the rankings go. But at this point, as a basketball team, you just want to go and get experiences. Great job by North Central to kind of withstand all that pressure from South Bend, Washington.
And a great evening from Trinity Archie with 23 points, but it was really Archie, the shooting of Archie and Couch tonight that separated North Central from South Bend, Washington.
Yeah, in the second half, they really hit some daggers and just handled their press, got out of that press and found open looks. So hats off to North Central. South Bend, Washington, they'll be back. They've got plenty of talent, and they know how to win. They're coming off that state championship, so it'll be something that we'll see where they go, but they'll be back in this season.
Game number 7 was a great one tonight from Brownsburg High School. The Panthers of North Central victorious by 6, 62-56. As we mentioned, this was game number 7 of the Sneakers for Santa shootout from BHS. A great day of hoops on the girls' side, and as I mentioned earlier, next Saturday they're going to turn around and do it all over again on the boys' side. 7 more games will happen from Brownsburg, and it should be another great day, not only of basketball, but of charity for the state of Indiana.
Definitely a great cause, and people coming together to help those in need for the holiday time.
That'll do it for us from Brownsburg High School. Final score, 62-56, North Central victorious. For my partner today, Coach Schott, best of luck to you the rest of the season at West Lafayette. And we will see you guys again next time on the ISC Sports Network.
High school sports fans, welcome back to Game Time, to pure spirit, to pure sport. Welcome back to high school sports.
Fans, I'm IHSA Commissioner Paul Knighty, And I just want to say, welcome back.
This is Game Time. This is Indiana high school sports. This is your IHSAA.
Your life is on the go. Now your viewing habits can be on the go. With the ISC Sports Network app, your team is at your fingertips. You can download years' worth of content from the ISC Sports Network library. High school, college, special events, weekly and monthly shows, wherever you find your favorite app. And you can always find out more information at iscsportsnetwork.com.